When can my employer legally deny my reasonable accommodation request?
Your employer has to evaluate reasonable accommodation requests on a case-by-case basis and respond in a timely manner. Your employer can deny your request if it is not reasonable. Their evaluation is not just about whether you've proven you have a need. The evaluation of what is reasonable depends on the particulars because every job, workplace, and individual is different. Your employer's response will depend on your specific circumstances and the wording of your request.
Employers are legally allowed to deny your request if 1. You do not have a disability-related need for it, or 2. It will pose a direct threat to health and safety, or 3. It creates an undue hardship for the employer. An undue hardship is something that waives essential functions or qualifications for your job, requires a fundamental alteration to how the business operates, or creates an undue financial or administrative burden. Your employer does not have to give you the exact accommodation you asked for. They are allowed to provide an alternative accommodation as long as it is at least as effective at addressing the obstacle you're facing.
Let's discuss some examples of requests that could be denied and why. An example of a request with no disability-related need could be an employee asking to work a compressed schedule because the commute is too long. The employer should prompt you to explain how this connects to a disability, but if you don't, they can deny the request. A request that presents a direct threat to health or safety could be asking to store a walker in a main hallway where it is blocking the exit route. This would probably not be reasonable for fire safety.
An example of waiving essential job functions or qualifications could be if answering phone calls is an essential function of your job, a request to be exempt from answering the phone is unlikely to be considered reasonable. An example of fundamental alteration could be a teacher asking their school to make the course they teach an online course when the school only offers in-person courses. This would be asking the school to fundamentally change the service that they provide.
It can be hard to know when exactly a request would be considered an undue burden. Employers are responsible for the cost or effort of providing reasonable accommodations. Undue burden refers to situations where providing the accommodation is excessive for the size and resources of the employer. Examples of requests that would often be considered an undue burden include asking to frequently make last-minute changes to a schedule that would make it hard for the employer to provide their services without unfair disruption to other employees. Asking your employer to hire an assistant to help you do your job, or asking for a soundproofed office when the cost of providing this is an excessive expense for the small business. In all the examples we've described, the employer can deny the accommodation requested. However, they should then consider whether there are alternative accommodations they can provide to address the workplace obstacle the employee is facing because of their disability.
For individualized guidance, visit mass.gov/mod/ContactUs or call 617-727-7440. This video provides an introductory overview. Employment situations are often complicated and depend a lot on details of the situation. Please visit mass.gov/mod/DisabilityRights for more details on when and how the ADA applies. None of our content should be considered legal advice.